Hello, my name is Victoria Ann Genevieve Lada Lorraine, and I am from Las Cruces, New Mexico. I went to school here and I got my bachelor's degree at New Mexico State University, and then I got my commission in the Army, and from there went on with my military career. Well, first of all, I probably had the genes to have the mental illness, which I'm diagnosed with bipolar mix, post-traumatic stress syndrome, anxiety. And what triggered it, I believe, was when I went to the Persian Gulf War. Being stressful and working 96 hours a week and having very limited amount of sleep, and having the supervisor and subordinates undermine your authority. From then, when I came back home, I had a very hard time holding a salute. My knees would shake. And whenever I spoke about the Desert Storm war, I would have to excuse myself because I'd have to go throw up. It made me very, very sick. I also would jump if I was sleeping in bed and a automobile alarm went off. I would jump out of bed because it would remind me of bombs going on and sirens. I was going to change into another job, but this time it was going to be with the Army Reserves. And I realized that I couldn't stay in the office very long. A lot of people around me I felt very nervous, and I had to go home. And here again, trying to hold a salute, my hand would shake. So I thought there is something wrong with me. So I went to higher headquarters to the battalion, and I requested that a medical discharge be done for me to see what was the matter. And upon that time, through those procedures, they found out that I did have bipolar. First of all, I went to Sam Houston, Texas for the evaluation with the military, the regular military, and they denied me. So then I went through the veteran system, and they finally approved it, I guess, after a year of documentation and so forth. And since then, since that time, they have always provided all my medications, all my therapy, medications, whether it's for psychiatric or if it's for physical. Well, I'm going to let you know about two. One of them, I was going out with someone and they broke up. So I was at my house and I was drinking and I was listening to some Mexican music. And because the music was so loud, my psychiatrist tried to call me, which she couldn't get a hold of me because I didn't hear the phone. So however, she called the police, and a SWAT team came to my house. They wanted me to open up the door, and I said, no, just go away, I'm fine. And so finally I let them in. But first they had me go outside and searched me outside of my house. And then when they came in, I believe they asked me if they could look around. And I said, sure. I had some beer cans in my garbage can, and I had a cabinet full of medicine. And they had asked me if I'm going to harm myself. I says, no. I says, as you can see, I have a lot of medication in my cabinets, and if I wanted to do anything, I could take these. I recall a tall policeman, and he was very rude, and he says, well, I think you should come with us to the hospital. And I says, well, I don't think I need to. I says, I have my dogs who are going to take care of them. And he says, well, if you don't get up, we're just going to pick you up and take you. I guess at that time, a female police officer intervened, and she talked to me, and she was nice. And, you know, she calmed me down. She wasn't so forceful. And so she says, look, do you want to ride in the ambulance or do you want to ride with me? And I says, well, I'll ride with you. You know, and so she took me to the hospital and she was very cordial. She left me with her card if I needed anything else to give her a call. And then on another occasion, here again, I seem to be breaking up with everybody. I had broken up with someone and I was following them to work. They're in a shopping mall. I was following closely, and however, they turned into my car to where I could not avoid hitting them. A policeman came, filled out the report, and she required that I be arrested, and the charges was a misdemeanor of stalking, Class A. In that time, I went to California because priest was trying to convince her to dismiss the charges, and she would not. So anyway, I thought, okay, I'm going to come back to El Paso, Texas, go to the bondsman, and then turn myself in. I did so. I was in this big room by myself, and as I was looking outside the window, I saw two policemen behind the desk there where they do the paperwork, and it seemed like they're rather indifferent, empathetic. They could care less how long I was in that room. And then afterwards, from that room, they moved me into a smaller place, which was compact with a lot of women. Some of the women thought we were going to go eat. Another one said, oh no, they're going to dismiss us. So actually, really no one knew. But eventually what happened was they let us go free, and I was followed up with a court hearing and probation for 6 months. And my charges went down from a misdemeanor a misdemeanor from a Class A to a Class C. Well, first of all, I think I would tell them to be careful with their ego. A lot of times these big guys have big egos and feel that they're authoritative, which they are, and sometimes they forget that we are people and that we have feelings and that they need to treat us with dignity, and realize to be a little bit more trained in the field about mental illness. Yeah, that's what I would say.